The views and opinions expressed by the guest author or speaker during this live session are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Reader's Magnet. The content shared is for informational purposes only and does not constitute endorsement or promotion of any particular belief, ideology, or product.
Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to another awesome day here at RM Hive, and you're tuning in to Reader's Magnet's featured author interview. This is your host, Revan, and today's featured author writes from a place of deep love and hard-earned resilience. His work is grounded in real-life experience, exploring what it means to keep going when life asks more of you than you ever expected. At the heart of his writing is his journey as a father. Raising a child with complex medical needs transformed not only how he sees the world, but how he understands strength, hope, and the quiet courage it takes to show up every day. That perspective flows into his words, honest, reflective, and deeply human. His stories aren't just meant to be read, they're meant to be felt. They offer comfort to those walking similar paths and remind us that even in uncertainty, connection and meaning can still be found. Today, we're honored to feature the author of Daniela and One More Day, One Less Day, Jose Solis. Hi, Jose. Thank you for joining us here today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing the same.
Yes, I'm also excited about this because I love this one title here, Daniela. I'm really intrigued what this book is about. And for all our viewers out there, Jose's books here, we have Daniela and the other One More Day and One Less Day, were actually featured at the Reader's Magnet's booth this month, just this month, at the London Book Fair. And these two will also be featured at the Reader's Magnet's booth during the LA Times Festival of Books on April 18th and 19th at the University of Southern California. So if you are going to go there, go ahead and check the book out. And right now, I would like to know more about this book. So, Jose, can you tell us about these books? What are these books about?
Well, basically, one of the books, Daniela, it's about the true story of my daughter, 30-year
Mm,
journey through profound and challenging medical issues. A
mm-hmm,
life marked by epilepsy and seizures caused by a rare malformation of her right side of the brain. But
mm,
the book is not about illness. It's about love. It tells the
mm,
story of a family who refused to let a diagnosis define their child. Basically, that's what it is. Choosing instead
mm,
of create a life of dignity for her, joy and
mm-hmm.
resilience around her as well. Through
Nice.
difficult moments of darkness and grace, Daniela demonstrate us, everybody around her, how hope acts as a compass, how
Mm.
perseverance becomes a shield, and how one fragile life can inspire everyone around her.
I love these types of stories, Daniela. How about this other book, One More Day, One Less Day? What is this about?
Well, one more day, one less day is a meditation of a
Mm-hmm. Oh.
fragile balance of life, basically. The way each adds something to us while also taking something away. It is
Mm-hmm.
a collection of reflections on perseverance,
Mm-hmm.
gratitude, loss, resilience, and the
Mm-hmm.
quiet truths we often overlook in the rush of daily life living. The book
Mm-hmm.
invites readers to pause, to breathe, to
Mm-hmm.
recognize the meaning hidden in ordinary moments. It is not a manual of memoir. It is a
Mm-hmm.
companion for everyone navigating the emotional landscape of being a human being.
Mm-hmm. You know what? What I love about your books when you talked about it is that they do not only tell amazing stories, but they also give real life lessons like resilience, about patience, about looking finding yourself in the midst of others. I really love these types of stories because I will be able to relate myself to that certain character, especially Daniela is actually based on real life, so it actually reflects real life real life as well. So when I read it, I will see myself in the shoes of Daniela as well, because there are some things that could actually relate me to her life as well. not in the medical sense, but in the sense that the challenges of life that she's facing and how she actually overcome these types of challenges. And right now, because I'm so intrigued by this book, can you share a bit about yourself and your journey as a writer?
Sure. Yes, definitely. I am a Mexican-born author. I am I was a teacher in the university, a
Oh.
curator for art, and a lifelong scouting leader. Now living in the United States. My
Mm-hmm.
writing journey has always been connected to service, empowering youth people, building
Mm-hmm.
community, and sharing stories that bridge cultures. Uh, but over the years, I have learned that writing is not just about craft; it is about
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. With Daniela, book, I entered the most personal story of my life, turning
Mm-hmm.
decades of caregiving, struggle, and hope
Mm-hmm.
into a narrative that could help others feel seen and understood what one's
Mm-hmm.
go through difficulties like this.
Mm-hmm. I love how you're actually inspiring, the readers out there with these stories. And I wonder what really inspired you to, write these books. What are your inspirations?
Well, number one for me, it was Daniela because
Mm-hmm.
when you have the opportunity to live with a person with those type of things, it is difficult to say, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
how can I do this? Daniela is a true story. Definitely it is.
True.
But at the same time, Daniela herself inspired the story of my life. Her
Mm-hmm.
strength, her
True.
silence, his steadfast presence for over 32 years now, she demonstrated what it means to love unconditionally and to fight
Mm-hmm.
without making promises. That's the main thing about this, that she doesn't make any promises to anybody because we don't
Mm-hmm.
know what is going to happen today,
Mm-hmm.
late today, or tomorrow, first thing in the morning.
True.
I was also moved by many family members who walk similar paths in the shadows, often without support or recognitions, without the presence
Mm-hmm.
of everybody else around them. And
Mm-hmm.
preserve Daniela's legacy, for me, is a testament to what love it is
Mm-hmm.
all about. How can we stand this thing?
True. I love how you say that it's a legacy as well. It's about Daniela and also your legacy in one. And it's not just telling a story as well. It's also impacting a message out there, to be resilient, to be strong in facing these challenges. And right now, what do you think your readers will take away after reading these books?
Well, uh, everybody is different, definitely. But
Mm-hmm.
readers with this thing will develop a deeper understanding, at least with Daniela's book, of what resilience really is. They
Mm-hmm.
will see that hope is not naive.
Mm-hmm.
It is deliberate choice. It's a deliberate choice made in each day. Many will
Mm-hmm.
recognize their own struggles in ours, I hope. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe they will feel less alone in the world because,
True.
unfortunately, disabled people with like Daniela always
Uh-huh.
feel like invisible sometimes around the world.
True. Yeah.
Okay. And I believe ultimately that readers will understand that even during the toughest times, life can be full of extraordinary and meaning.
Yes, I love that. I love how you said that um it actually can make other people to not feel alone because it actually happens sometimes when people are just if there are very difficult challenges ahead of them and then or something like disabilities will make them feel alone in the world, but then with this story it will actually make them feel and make them think as well that they are not alone, that other people are also actually experiencing it. And if the other people are experiencing it and if they can read this book, they will actually feel that somebody is also experiencing this type of difficulty in life and are getting there, getting through the challenges on their own, the inner strength, finding their inner strength from other people, and this will actually, the book itself, Daniela, will also help them find that strength to, as well, to get through the challenges in life. And right now, Jose, I
Correct.
want to ask, do you have a specific lesson in mind that your readers will learn from your books?
Well, I can say a few of them, at least with
Mm-hmm.
Daniela and One Day, One More Day,
Mm-hmm.
that love is not judged by ease, but by
Mm-hmm.
endurance. That caring is both an act of devotion and also an act of courage. That
Mm-hmm.
adversity does not listen a life's word. It often is uncover it. That families can become unbreakable when they
Mm-hmm.
choose unity over division and fear. Fear is impossible to define exactly when you have family with disabilities or when you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what is going to happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That time is not guaranteed. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
time is something that we live. I hope that everybody understand that time is given to us in a
Mm-hmm.
day, but we don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us as well. And the bright of light coming
Mm-hmm.
through our windows are going to be there as well. The life
Mm-hmm.
values is found in small intentional moments. That gratitude is a discipline, not an accident. That resilience grows quietly, often in the shadows of hardship. That is
Mm-hmm.
important to understand that hardship is not only the fact that one lives every day, but
Mm-hmm.
the resilience grows every day as well with us if we want to. The book doesn't preach, it invites, it
Mm-hmm.
opens the door for readers to reflect on their own lives and find their own lessons throughout.
Love that. You know what I love about that? You said resilience grows in the shadow of darkness. I love that because when people actually experience the hardships, so resilience grows in the shadows of hardships. So when they face hardships in life or the difficulties, they actually they get to learn in that they get to be stronger as well. So it's like winning a medal when you actually win over this challenge in
Yes.
life. It's like winning a medal, and then you get to be stronger yourself. You get to be motivated, to live life and enjoy life as well. Plus it also gives the lesson to other people, and you have a story to tell. So, and it's very important to really tell this story because you do not know it actually, it impacts other people. They can learn from that story, that very story of yours. And right now you
Correct.
wrote this book, Daniela, and people will actually learn from it. And that's what I really love about storytelling, and the authors that I've interviewed here before, because they have a story to tell, and they have something to share to the world that will inspire other people as well. So right now you might, other authors might say, I'm just writing it for myself, but when they publish it, we do not know it actually, inspire other people to also write, to tell the story and inspire other people. And that's a really good step in,
Yes.
creating a legacy in this world. And that's why I love reading books. And I'm so intrigued by this, by Daniela's story as well. So I'd really love to read this book as well. And right now, I want to ask you this question, Jose. How long have you been writing, and when did you start writing?
Well, I started writing many years, many, many years ago in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
where I was fortunate enough to be recognized with my early literary work. Writing has
Mm-hmm.
always been part of my identity, a way to process, honor, and connect with people around me. But
Mm-hmm.
Daniela's marked a turning point in my life. It was the
Mm-hmm.
first time I wrote not just as an author, but as a father trying to preserve the legacy of a love and truth about somebody else. My love for Daniela and my family. I began writing as a young in Mexico as well, where I explored poetry and reflective prose.
Mm-hmm.
Writing has always been a way for me to understand the world and give shape to emotions that I feel that are very difficult to express sometimes as a person. Over the years, my writing has resolved from poetry to
Mm-hmm.
storytelling, which I'm doing as we speak, from
Yeah.
personal reflection to narratives that honor resilience once again and human
Mm-hmm.
connection. One more day, one less day is as well is the continuation of a lifelong
Mm-hmm.
journey of observing, feeling, and translating experience into words. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it is.
Yes, and you know what? I'm also excited about this other book that you said, "One More Day, One Less Day," because it's actually very full of motivational words, inspirational words that people should actually read. Because nowadays we already know what's happening in the
Yes,
world. Sometimes it's actually very depressing, and the challenges that there's a war as well, and we need positivity. And this book is actually very relevant today, very relevant
yes,
and very important today as well, because people need these positive words that we can still see see the next day with positive eyes. I love how you actually
yes.
have this published for the other people to read. So yeah. And I want to read these comments to you, Jose, because there are comments here on Facebook saying, this is from Sophia
Sure.
Collins. She said, "It
Yes,
reminds me to appreciate every single moment more deeply," which is true. That's what I realized as well when I learned about, Daniela and One More Day, One Less Day. It also reminds me in appreciating every single moment. And we have from, what's this? Young one, Joseph. He said, the kind of book you buy twice, once for yourself and once to give away. Yes, of course. Yes, because we need all these
that's
positive,
right.
motivating books. And a young one, if you're going to go to LA this April, go ahead and check his book out. So Jose's books will be displayed at the Readers Magnet's booth on April at the LA Times Festival of Books. So definitely check his books out, and they're all worth it. We're just having a conversation here, and I know these books are worth it. So worth checking out. And we have from Elizabeth. She said, "I feel like this book would bring peace to many readers." Yes, Elizabeth, of course, because this is such a inspiration. The inspiration in this book, teaching about resilience, about facing the challenges in life. And then we have from Timothy. I said, "Daniela is a wonderful book that everyone should find time to read and ruminate on." Yes, thank you for that comment as well, Timothy. So yeah, and right now, right now, Jose, I wanna ask you about these comments. How would you feel? How would you feel that these are the comments that you've read about your book?
Well, I feel really, really proud to be part of this thing and try to
Mm-hmm.
say I am very glad that people wants to read these books, at
Mm-hmm.
least to learn a bit more or make sure that one understand that life is there, not for
Mm-hmm.
us only as a person, but for everybody around us. Life with
True.
Daniela and one more day, one less day, just focuses in this thing. My personal belief with one more day, one less day is about
Mm-hmm.
Daniela's also, because
Mm-hmm.
if we are not here to support and care for her, giving leaving a legacy for her around
Mm-hmm.
her and caring for her is going to be very difficult. So one needs to think about that. That in my case, in my wife's case,
Mm-hmm.
we are already old people, 73
Mm-hmm.
years old and 63 years old. So we don't know what is going to happen today
Mm-hmm.
or
True.
tomorrow. But our daughter,
True.
she's only 33 years old, 32
Mm-hmm.
years old, I'm sorry. And what is going to happen if she needs 100% care every
Mm-hmm.
day, 7 days a week? It's difficult to say, you know what, if I don't do this for her, who is going to be doing this for her? So one day,
Mm-hmm.
one more day, one less day, it's about the legacy that the one needs to leave behind, thinking about
Mm-hmm.
today as an important day, but reminding us that we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow or if we're
Mm-hmm.
going to have a tomorrow.
True. You know what? I just want to comment on what you said. You're 73 or and 64, you said. And I said, well, I don't think because when I saw Daniela, I thought it was written by a very young man, and writing about this. And you said 73. It reminds me. Oh yeah, because when you tell the story, it's like being written by the younger version of you. So this actually is like immortalizing your age, like you're becoming younger with the
That's
words that you
correct.
use in the book. And I love the positivity in this as well,
Every time that
and
somebody asks me for my age, I say I am only 29.
yeah. Yeah, because these are the types of books that 29-year-olds can actually write, right?
Yes,
Daniela. The title itself, it's just one word and it's a name, but it's really strong. And I want to read it. Daniela. It's like watching a soap opera with that title. I'm really gonna watch. My mom will really watch that because it's such a good title, a very striking title. And right now I want to ask you, when creating your characters, do you draw inspiration from real people or are they entirely fictional in both of your books?
in my book with Daniela is basically from real people. My daughter,
Mm-hmm.
my family, my friends, and everybody around us, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody is touched by Daniela's life. And in one more day, one less day, it's about one personal experience, one that needs to be said and mentioned in all ways possible. But characters are basically real. They're not right now. I'm not writing any fiction or anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody is real. Everybody is real, including all the examples in the chapters
Mm-hmm.
written and Daniela, and also
Mm-hmm.
in One More Day, One Less Day.
Mm-hmm.
They're real.
That's really nice. That's really nice. Getting real people in the story, it's like making them immortal in the pages that you write. And
Correct.
yeah, even if they pass away, they will still be in your book that will be read by the next generations. And that's a really good legacy right there.
It
And
is.
I want to ask you as well. Can you give us a sneak peek into any upcoming projects or ideas you're currently working on?
Yes, sure. I am very excited because I'm working in a couple of projects.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, where I am right now, it is my studio. It is far from home,
Mm-hmm.
meaning like maybe 20 steps out of my home, but
Uh-huh.
it's peaceful. And yes,
Mm.
I'm currently working on several projects focused in resilience and legacy. One of
Mm-hmm.
them is the true legacy, and the other one is fairness and unfairness, because one believe that legacy is only money, it's only
Mm-hmm.
assets, but it's not only that. And in the question of fairness,
Mm-hmm.
everybody believes that one is treated unfair all the time, but never see inside of one and said, am I guilty of this?
Mm-hmm.
Am I causing this thing for myself, believing that everybody's treating me bad, unfair? Or fairness is something that also is part of legacy. Unfortunately, a lot of young people do not understand this until they are
Mm-hmm.
not my age, but old enough to say, what am I doing here? What is happening to my life? What is it that I created to leave behind me? Not money, not financial things,
Mm-hmm.
not assets, but what is it that people are going to be remember me for? Because fame, no matter what it is going to dissipate because a lot
True.
of people coming after them. So that's basically what it is. It's part of a larger project that includes at least
Mm-hmm.
22 chapter books in fairness and also the true legacy. That's what it is. That's what I'm
Nice.
working on, and I hope to have those. I hope, I hope by
Still hoping.
early next year, in let's say June, July.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And right now,
Daniela in particular took me almost 3.5 years.
mm-hmm,
At the same time, I was working in One More Day, One Less Day because of unfortunate family situation with
mm-hmm,
one person that died with us. And I said, something is not right. Something is not doing this for the rest of the
mm-hmm,
people because I see people cry when they go to funerals, but they don't
yeah,
think about what is it that I'm doing here. Do I
yeah,
understand that this day is only today? We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. That's
yeah.
basically what it is. So Daniela, 3 years and a half, and I can say 2 years and some change for One More Day, One Less
Mm-hmm.
Day. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a very long journey for these
it
books, which
is.
are all worth it because they have these messages that people should read about in your books. And right now, Jose, I want to give the spotlight to you. Tell us where we can find these books and anything that you want to promote. The floor is yours.
Sure. Yeah, basically right now, but my book, you can find it in it's called Jose Solis Author.com. It is in also in Amazon, Ingram Spark, and a couple of more places that I don't remember exactly what it is,
Mm-hmm.
but there you can find it in Amazon and you can find it in JoseSolisAuthor.com. You will find those books there.
All
And
right.
I invite everybody to read them because I hope that you learn something from them and you keep something from them for
True.
increasing your value as a person, as an individual in the world, and giving away presents, not just words, but presents to people that believe that you value a lot.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, Jose Solis, everybody, get your copy of Daniela and One More Day, One Less Day available on his website, josesolisoutdoor.com. And it's also available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And also, his books will be displayed at the LA Times Festival of Books at the
Yes.
Readers Magnets booth. So don't miss it if you can go to University of Southern California this April, go ahead and check his books out because they have something for you. So the message will actually, uh, let you see the next day as as a positive a positive thing that you have to look forward
Yeah.
to. And Jose, it has been an awesome time with you. Thank you for joining us here at Readers Magnet today.
Thank you. And thank you to
And
everybody to listen.
yes. And guys, let's open the pages and unravel the secrets of your personal odyssey. And I believe that your ink never runs dry. So go tell your story, you storyteller. This is your host, Revan. And as we say it here at Reader's Magnet, we share your story with the world. Bye for now. Stay awesome.
Bye bye.